Hi, Morgan Thomas. You may know me from my training products, the Sharky training knives, the dagger, Tonto, and tactical open folder. These products have been out for 15 years now, used across the world, 23 countries, Homeland Security, FBI, Secret Service. I've sent them to the White House, the Russian Embassy Guard, Marine Guard, Sky Marshals, Australian Defence Force, their official knife, Border Patrol, many other agencies, and of course law enforcement, martial artists. The second product I brought out was a snaggletooth, and there's a video out there about the snaggletooth, the live blade. But I also have another product I want to talk about. A friend of mine in the same kind of business, Pierre Langlois from Quebec, he has a line of products that are familiar to law enforcement and some military, and that is rubber training products that replicate knives, hammers, axes, machetes, fireplace pokers, broken bottles, a whole wealth of things that a law enforcement officer might encounter on a scene that can be used against him. And Pierre is very, very successful with that product. He too sells throughout the world. And he and I became friends. We like, creative minds. We got together over dinner one night at the SHOT Show and started talking, and we kept coming up with these ideas. So what we did was we formed a new company. You can see it on my shirt here, Brainstorm Can-Am, because every time we get together we have a brainstorm, and Canada and America. So we formed this company and came out with our first product. It's similar to both of our other lines, but we're doing it together under this new company banner. And we're addressing an area that has been neglected, very neglected, in training and safety products, and that's corrections officers. The product is called the Shiv. Our handout has a photograph of a real prisoner-made Shiv on both sides, and it asks the question, the bad guys are always ready, are you? So it's about training. People that are incarcerated have nothing but time on their hands. They're lifting weights, they've got idle time, they're sitting around thinking of ways that they can escape or cause harm to somebody within the system. A knife a homemade knife, is the biggest threat to corrections officers. And to date, there's no product out there that allows them to train aggressively and safely to prevent an injury or a death from a prisoner-made product, a sharp-edged product. So what we have is called the Shiv, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that right now. Okay, as I've mentioned, this product is a combined effort between myself and my partner in Quebec, Pierre Langlois. Pierre's company is called DTS Tools. That's Delta Tango Sierra.com, DTS.com. Pierre is a career law enforcement officer in Montreal. He's a defensive tactics trainer, he's a simunition trainer, firearms, hand-to-hand combat, and so on. I've got modest experience for 43 years in martial arts myself. And so we both have information and expertise in that realm. And we wanted to address a shortcoming with the corrections officers. This product is something that I've had in my mind a long time, and when Pierre and I got together, Pierre made it a reality, and they're produced in his country in Canada, and it's called the Shiv, S-H-I-V, which is one of the slang terms used for a prisoner-made knife. And you'll notice in our logo, there's a spring for the eye. And there's a reason for that, and I'll show you what that's all about in a moment. But again, the question is, the bad guys are ready, they have nothing but time to train and think about hurting you. Are you prepared, and are you training in the corrections world to defend yourself? All right, this is the Shiv. You'll notice that it's a very large product intentionally. When I designed the Sharky knives, I wanted a product that was a good size to start with. That's what the dagger and the Tonto accomplished. A little larger than real life, but it gave the instructor the ability to put the skill sets in place with a large product that was easily visible and let the students develop the skill sets and then move to something smaller, such as the tactical open folder. Pierre's products at DTS Tools are all life-size and excellent replicas, coloration, everything. If his axes look like a real axe, the hammer looks like a real hammer. You wouldn't know the difference. But this product, we wanted to do something so that the action used by prisoners to assault each other or to assault a corrections officer is not typically a slashing motion. It's a thrusting motion. There are a bunch of quick sewing machine type jabs to vital areas. And that's hard to use the Sharky for because they're a rigid product. It's hard to use any other knife training drones out in the marketplace that I'm aware of. So what we want to do is allow you to aggressively train with the product and replicate that motion, that quick stabbing, thrusting motion, and not get injured in the process. And that's what the Shiv does. The handle is very large, but it lets you grip in either a rear grip or a forehand grip and make that motion again and again and again. The reason you can do it safely is that engineered into this handle is a progressive spring which gets stronger as it's compressed. When you're doing your training and you make contact with the person, the blade retracts into the handle and spring it back out again. So that you can come and make that hitting motion, and it'll retract in and give you the feeling, the impression, the action that that real attack would give. The blade itself is tubular. It too is rubber. It's reinforced in the inside, and the tip is left a little bit soft here. So when you do make contact with the body, you know it's there, but it's not really making an injury. It's retracting in. So not only do you have the ability to make that quick stabbing, thrusting motion safely, but it even looks like it. If you're stabbing, it looks like it's penetrating. It's very important to have the visual and the other senses replicate in a training scenario what's really going on in real life. So if it looks like it's penetrating, that enhances the training. If you can do this repeatedly and not hurt your fellow training partner, we've accomplished our goal. And we believe that the corrections people have been left out in the cold in some degree. Law enforcement has had tons of money and tons of equipment dumped into it, military as well. Corrections still is playing catch up. And I think this product would be very, very important in addressing the training shortcomings that we feel are in place in the corrections world, and let those officers be able to train with a product that replicates the most common attack to other prisoners or to corrections officers. The Shiv does that. And again, it is oversized. It's meant to be. It lets you train your students. They get a good visual off it. You can train safely. Of course, you have to wear good eye protection. That's a vulnerable area. But the rest of the body, Pierre, who's a big guy, has hit me many, many times with this product in pretty aggressive fashion. You notice that also the ring here. When this hits a soft body part, the handle only goes in so far, and then this ring will be a stop against that fleshy tissue. So you can get pretty aggressive with this. You can replicate real life. And we think it's a product that's long, long overdue in the corrections world. And we think that the corrections world should catch up with the rest of the training going on in other law enforcement agencies. And this product will do the trick. Okay, as I already mentioned, this tool is specifically designed with corrections in mind. And it repeats that static thrusting motion, which is common prison-type attacks. Lets me work with the partner, and he can learn his defensive techniques to try and get out of that situation. Oftentimes, corrections officers may be alone amongst many prisoners. There is not help in the very near vicinity. They may be monitored, or there might be someone close by, but not with them. So it's very important to buy those precious few seconds until help can arrive. So with that in mind, you can also, this can be used as well as a cutting type motion too. So I can do the same thing I can do with the Sharky product. I can make slashes as well, which lends itself to law enforcement too, because they also encounter screwdrivers and those type of tools on the street and are often attacked with those. So this can be used by law enforcement for that same motion, or it can be used defending against slashing motions. With that in mind, I also want to mention that Pierre, as I said, is a trainer, a retired law enforcement, and he trains law enforcement officers still in Canada and the U.S. And he's also an expert witness for law enforcement trials and so forth. He and I have put our heads together and developed a one-day user training program, a 2-day user training program, and a 3-day instructor training program on how to defend against that type of attack that corrections officers will encounter. So if you don't have a program of your own set up, we do have it available. You can contact us. We will come out to your facility and we will conduct the training based on your needs. Thank you.